everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Chiefs. So with kickoff approaching, listen to the commentators here this afternoon. Brandon Godden.
Matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. We're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken very short. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by the #1 overall pick of these Bucs in the 2015 draft. Out of Florida State, the former Noel, Jameis Winston.
And he's always been a gym rat. He's always been a guy who just absolutely loves the game and loves everything about preparation. Watching tape, rallying teammates, he has a charisma that's just off the charts. How does he get better, though? Starting in year 2, well, he worked on the offseason, lost weight, reconfigured his body. I think it's just a matter of continuing to take care of the football and continuing to lead his team. Because you know in Tampa Bay, they #believe in Jameis. The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
They run it again with Martin. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Oh, Jameis Winston still down. Must have been shaken up there on the last play. Let's hope he's okay. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Third play of this opening drive. Now Fitzpatrick. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Anger. Brian Anger to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. They're led out by Alex Smith in his 4th season at the helm of the Chiefs after 7 in San Francisco.
And I like his game. I hear him described as a game manager all the time, and I can't wait till we take game manager and flip it towards a positive, because right now it seems to be a negative. But game manager is what you want out of your quarterback, making the right decisions, getting the ball to the right people, moving the team down the field, and he does that very well. The only real criticism of him, sometimes a little too cautious with the football. He takes care of it very well.
He's got the hook up with Conley. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And here's a look at the starting offense. So we've got a 2nd and 5. Now it's the Princeton man. This is Spencer Ware. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Brent Grimes is one of those cornerbacks who was overlooked coming out of college and plays each and every game with a chip on his shoulder.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
After a good stop. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on 2nd down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. We've got a 3rd and 11, and their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Brian Anger now. standing about a yard deep in his own end zone.
Ordinarily, the responsibility for not letting edge pressure disrupt the play falls on the offensive tackles. Their job, to push that edge pressure so far wide they can't either get to the quarterback or the runner, especially on a draw.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. She took the words right out of my mouth. On the run, it's Ware. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
They come out here in the eye. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Spencer Ware, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And off comes to Martin. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Roughing the passer, that's shades of Charles Davis back in his playing days.
Oh, I sure wish it had been, Brandon. Back in my day, I didn't hit anyone hard enough to rough the passer. I had a number of teammates that handled that for me.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play almost seemed like a baseball play. See ball, hit ball. But in this case, see guy with ball, tackle guy with ball.
And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets the tone for the offense.
And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. A dump off to Sims. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Well, we saw the practice film this week. They wanted to focus on these intermediate passing plays, and it paid off there.
And they took that focus not just to the practice field, but in the film room to show the guys exactly what they wanted, what types of looks they should expect to get, and how they would beat those coverages each and every time. And it paid off on that play.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. And Brake has it over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's 2nd down. And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
Benny Logan has the body of a defensive end, but the skill set of a defensive tackle. He's very difficult for offensive guards to block.
They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick. Pass incomplete.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Now Fitzpatrick. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Folk's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him to make the play.
That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Making the tackle, Keith Tandy.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Smith on third down. And able to find Conley. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's an 8.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
One quarter down, 6-3. That's our score. And we're back to Arrowhead after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. first down throw. It's Smith. And that is incomplete. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Second and 10, Smith again. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. And I know it seems like we say this a lot in broadcast booths, but a quarterback can hold on to the football too long in these situations. I think he did right there.
Oh, I agree with you totally. Sometimes you have to understand situations. Get rid of the football, save some yardage, to make it less to gain for the next down. Instead, he was so hipped on ball security, he held on to it and took a big sack.
His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. Now 4th down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
So on 4th down, Andy Reid decides to send in the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They run. Martin, give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. A dump off to Sims. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
False start, offense. Still first down.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And Brate, the tight end's got it. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
To the air again, Fitzpatrick. Right side caught by Jackson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
3rd down now following the completed pass. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
Defense.
Got a little handsy there, defensive holding, Charles.
And defenders will get away with as much as you will allow. The 5-yard mark tells the officials where the line should be drawn.
Now Smith will turn and give this to his fullback, Sherman. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on 1st down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. They come out here in the eye. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
They'll try the air now with Smith. He's got the hook up with Conley. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough 3rd down awaits them.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They come up in an offset eye. Play clock winding down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and it brings up 4th down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. Maybe an anxious moment or two when the ball was on its way, but he does find a way to curl it in.
Oh, yeah, that one definitely hugged the left upright, but he got it to go.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They start the drive with Martin. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. To throw is Fitzpatrick. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old-school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
Put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Move 45. Move 45.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be out of of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 18 yards on the pickup there. And it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision. Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
A couple of Cheifs there to bring him down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. 3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. One receiver to the left is Evans. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Folk's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And the first carry for the former Clemson Tigers, C.J. Spiller. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
Second down following the run. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play.
Well read.
Oh, thank you. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8. Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They come out here in the eye. Just beating the play clock. Smith. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelsey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. For his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And a 10th carry here for Martin. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. They come out here in the eye. Second down, Fitzpatrick. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. And the offense in that middle ground here on third down, 5 yards to go. Fitzpatrick now. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Chris Jones, the rookie from Mississippi State, with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Chiefs haven't had the same success as last week through the air. The Buccaneers have obviously played a role in that, as they've done what they've needed to in order to slow that part of the game down. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Chiefs lined up at the 23. Wares is going to use a stiff arm to get away, and a quick 3-play drive ends with the score. Chiefs on top by 6. Chiefs have it at the 27. They're going to come away with another sack. This will go for a loss of 8. Chiefs lined up at the 43. Kelsey's got the catch here, and he's going to go 43 yards for the score. The Chiefs up now by 13.
Okay, Larry, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Tyreek Hill on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he was being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Tackle made that time by Chris Baker. So back-to-back plays here where he couldn't get anything on the ground. Now you face a 3rd and 10 and assume you're going to try to pass it, right?
I would think so, because you've tried to run the ball, and really it doesn't matter who got the ball on the play because there was no space to go. So I think you step back, throw the ball to try and pick up the first down.
Here's Smith. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This is the fullback, Sherman. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. The play clock's running down. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on 3rd down. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Offense coming up, needing 2 yards on 3rd down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll give it here to his running back. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive lineman and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They come up in an offset eye. On 4th down, Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. But it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
And he has not been able to find the same type of running room this week as last. Such a great game. We met with him. He came in, had the biggest smile on his face, so we just thought that would carry over.
Sometimes you wonder if maybe it borders on a little overconfidence. They were so good last week. He's getting extra blocking out on the perimeter from the wide receivers to get him downfield. In this game, maybe he came into it with the idea that it's just going to be like last week, be a piece of cake. And what they're getting from the defense isn't exactly the same. And, boy, it's been tough going for him.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And just a simple, basic neutral zone infraction here, partner.
Yeah, when you're ready to launch and go get the quarterback, sometimes you take off a bit too fast.
To throw, Fitzpatrick. He's got time. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. The NFL sack leader from 2014, Justin Houston, in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Our eyes shift to the defense of the Buccaneers now. And they dug down last drive on 4th down, got the stop on their side of the field. You play defense, Charles. How huge is that on this drive?
Can't even really quantify it because you're talking about field position, momentum, that element of feeling like we're the tougher team, because when you stop someone on 4th down, in a sense you're imposing your will on the other team, and that's exactly what they did, and that should permeate through the rest of the ball club.
Yeah, now who will impose their will on this drive? And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Out of the gun, Smith. Dumps it off for Spiller. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line.
It fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
On 1st down, it's Smith. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And the Chiefs are going to have a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Check. Move 45. Move 45.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Oh, and the defender took some liberties there with a late hit, roughing the passer.
The league has done a great job of defining what is a late hit and illegal contact on a quarterback. The defenders really have to get in line.
On first down, Smith. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll come out in the pistol.
Move 45. Move 45.
Smith on 3rd down. And he's got his man. It's Escobar. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Fresh set of downs here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
Move 45. Move 45.
Here's the option going right. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And quickly, they get to the line. Here's the option going right. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off, it's J.J. Wilcox. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They try to fire up the running game with Martin. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
No chance. No chance.
Here's Martin, and he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
They give to Martin. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down. It's 3rd down, 6 yards to go for the offense. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. third down. Fitzpatrick surveying the field. And that is incomplete.
When everything is in sync on defense, that means everyone's communicating really well, and sometimes it's nonverbal. They just know that when a receiver's in one spot, this person may have him, and he's in another spot, the next defender may have him. And they've squeezed the passing lanes down to where it's so difficult to find an open area to deliver the football. They've made it tough on them all game long.
Taken in at the 11. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Smith turns and gives to West. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time.
We talk all the time about how important it is to have leverage in blocking. It's also a big part of policing up gaps. Did you move someone out of the A gap? Did you move them out of the B gap in order to create space for your guy to run? In this case, all those gaps were shut down.
Yeah, the movement was defensive, and they got him for a loss. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a two-possession game. It is a two-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And now here comes Kansas City. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. They come up in an offset eye. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So the hard count gets them there. Neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, the defense thought they had the timing down, but the quarterback hit them with a hard count, got them to jump.
And they'll go on the ground. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So a bullet dodge there defensively. They surrender excellent field position on the kick return, but it winds up not costing them a thing.
And that's a tough sequence of events from an offensive perspective. The inability to get and the inability to cash that in leads to nothing on the scoreboard.
Drops it off to Martin. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Certainly not the numbers that he was hoping for. Rough last week, rough again here.
And I've got to tell you, I'm surprised because I'm used to guys bouncing back from tough performances, but right now it appears he's in a little bit of a rut. So whoever the guy is on the team that he trusts the most, whether it's the coordinator, the quarterback's coach, one of his friends.
Pep talk.
Yeah, it's pep talk time. It's time to get into his head a little bit and try and see if he can get him straightened out.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Fitzpatrick again. He gets it to Humphreys. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick. Right side caught by Jackson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things.
And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Again, it's Fitzpatrick. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up second down. No, third down. To the air again, Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Fitzpatrick on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. The Bucs try it on 4th down but come up empty. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage and hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
And that pickup of a 1st down That's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now Smith. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. He lost 2 there. And it's 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on to punt for Kansas City.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Evans has it left side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Simple slant route, and it works to perfection.
And when you're a big-bodied receiver, you use it like it's a basketball play. Body the defender away and catch the football.
Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ramik Wilson in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got Evans. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. One man on the backfield, that's Martin. Fitzpatrick on 1st down. And Blake has it over the middle. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And the offense moving quickly to the line. 1st down, Fitzpatrick. Wide open receiver, complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. Looking for someone to throw to. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Doug Martin. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
On second down, Fitzpatrick again. And this is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And they're going to speed things up here. Fitzpatrick again. And his throw here is incomplete. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. Again, it's Fitzpatrick. And he floats one there, incomplete. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. To the air again, Fitzpatrick. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Desperation time. Fitzpatrick on 4th down. And that is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Well, they had to take one final shot at the end zone, but now things are looking really bleak.
And I agree with that totally. You had to take the shot if they did score. You know, whether you call it a miracle or not, you line up, onside kick, get the ball back, throw one more in the end zone, who knows? Had to take the chance. It just was unsuccessful. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here's Smith, dancing to his left. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Buccaneers have it.
I'm guessing that on the sidelines there might be a few words said about that mistake there, but I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run. They're still going to get out of here with a win.
Yeah, they got the 2-score cushion, but you know what coaches say, Charles? Finish strong.
Finish the game out the way it's supposed to be played.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a gain of 5, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on 3rd down. So the D-line's going to spread out. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's got Evans. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And the lead will shrink to 6. So 15 ticks remaining as they line up for the onside kick. And the Chiefs have got it. And with that, they should have a victory as well. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Smith going to throw it. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So 3rd and 5, 3rd and medium here. They'll come up with split backs in the backfield. Oh, he didn't spike it. He faked it. Finding time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Kansas City, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Kansas City.
Let's hit the post-game tailgates and grab some of that barbecue.
Yeah, BBQ.